Hello. Mic test. Mic check. Mic test. Mic check. Mic check. Yo, what's up, everybody? Good to see you. Welcome to the PropAholics show. You guys know what's what. It's every single fight, prop bet, and deep dive. And holy shit, the questions are going to come crazy. I know. I will be dropping PFL predictions after this stream. I won't lie to you. I have yet to record the video, so it will be a late night PFL drop, but you're going to get the PFL drop. Don't worry. You're going to get the PFL breakdown. Don't stress. I will do it. I will be here. I will be doing PFL. So first things first, we're going to get into the UFC. We're going to do all the UFC props and then PFL. I prefer to drop the video late rather than stream late. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are well. What's up to the chat? Good to see everybody. W to PropAholics gangsters up in here, coming, swinging like savages, ready to make some magic happen. Feeling good. I am. I know you are too. Lean J up in here. Let me drink a little. Bam. Rumor on the street is Mederos going to call out AJ on the mic if he wins. I hope he does. We'll blow up the channel. Typical late J. True. True, I was late. I make no excuses. I make no excuses. I was a few minutes late, but so what, chat? I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. What now, motherfuckers? Hey, W Paku. See, I'm on time for Paku, bro. It's 10:15 Australian time. Come on now. I'm going to be live tomorrow too. MMA live chat in the afternoon. And then, evening show at night. So, going to be pretty good. W to the people, man. I'm going to get MMA Fight Center up. Oh, you guys want to hear something? I was looking closely at the Road to UFC card. I'm probably going to end up doing picks for Road to UFC next week, guys. And a fucking live stream at 5 in the morning. I'm going full sociopath J next week. And going psycho mode. Doing an insane amount of fucking content. I got Contender Series, Fight Companion. Road to UFC, Fight Companion. And UFC Fight Companion. Holy shit. But I'll do picks for all of them too. So, call me the real Mystic J. Call me the realest mystic of the J's, bro. All right, let me get this looking better. Okay. We're going to get to the picks in 1 second, man. I'm just getting everything set up to look right. Okay? Okay? Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. You know, I'm trying to do it where I can get my timestamps during the stream because, you know, it'll be nice to not have to do them after the fact. Okay. Let's get into it. Fight number 1 on the card. The ladies going after it. We got Elise Reed, Shanelle, Dyer. So, guys, the mentality is rather straightforward for me here. I have an athletic striker with knockouts, 25 years old, taller, a little bit of a reach advantage versus Elise Reed, a woman who likes to keep her hands by her side a lot of the time, a decent enough striker, decent enough grappler, and experienced UFC fighter, but lacks any outstanding qualities. I've always felt Elise Reed, rather average, not bad, but also doesn't really do anything for me where I'm like, man, that's a fucking prospect killer right there. I'm like, nah, if Shanelle Dyer has some type of potential, she should go out there and body read. I don't think it should be that close. And the books agree. I mean, she's minus 750 on the money line. W Killer Kev for the dono. Asia, let's get this moolah, bro. It's Tampa weekend. Hell yeah, Killer Kev. You're going to PFL Tampa. Enjoy yourselves. I will not be at PFL Tampa, unfortunately, but I will be there in spirit. So if you guys are there, enjoy yourselves. Have a nice time. All right. Dyer does have every possible advantage. It's not competitive. It's not competitive to me. I don't see it. Hernandez says I should go to PFL Tampa. I'm streaming, bro. I can't. I'm streaming. I'm streamer, Jay. I cannot do it, brother. I need to focus on the streams. But, you know, if I did go, I'd definitely let you guys know. But no, I'm not. I'm not going to it. I'm not going, yeah. I'm not going to it, unfortunately. All right, let's see. Prelims. What's the knockout for Dyer currently? Shanelle Dyer by KO at plus 130. What do you guys think? Wake up, age? I am awake. What do you think? AJ, just know I'm always here watching. I'm the one that gives you the 1K hypes. You're the man, Hernandez. I always wonder how you doing, bro. I hope life is good. We haven't gotten to chat as much. Sorry if I didn't get back to you on Twitter, bro. But yeah, man. I always think of you, Hernandez. Dyer by KO. It makes sense. It's a ladies fight, but it's a ladies fight where you gotta assume Dyer KO at plus 130 is kind of it. KO round 2, valid. Very valid. Nah, Alex is not even going to the PFL card either, I don't think. He's like, bro, I like watching the UFC and the PFL. He's like, I don't want to just pick one. And I'm like, I fully get it. All right, Dyer KO round 2 plus 550. Anything else? Oh, it's plus 650. Is there any prop that you guys like outside of a Dyer KO? Betting a woman's under 1.5 just seems terrible. See, fight to reach round 2. Jesus. There's really not much good. Really not. Dyer decision. This is one of the fights, man. One of the fights where it's like the only thing that makes sense to me is Dyer winning. It's just a matter of how. And I'd say decision or knockout would make more sense than any other method. So Dyer, decision, Dyer KO. Those are the live method of victories. I don't know, man. This fight, it seems like an easier. I'm not saying I don't know, like I don't know. I'm saying no, I don't know anything other than like, yeah, Dyer should whoop her. Like, come on now. Reed has never lost by decision. All of her losses, she has been finished. So just recognize Elise Reed, potentially flawed durability. Potentially flawed in durability. Say it with me twice now. Potentially flawed in durability. There's really no good poll options, but for the sake of the content, we'll fucking do it. But like, what the hell, dude? I don't even want to run a poll for this first one. Would I go to an MVP MMA event if JK with the invite? Yeah, at that point, I feel like I can't say no. I'd be much more apt to go under those type of circumstances than me just like buying a ticket from general admission, you know? If I was reached out to by MVP and they like wanted me at the event, I'd be more apt to do it. Still, though, you know, if it's a numbered event UFC card, I wouldn't. Preferably, it's a Friday show that I go to. Like, I love me PFL, don't get me wrong, but come on now, it's the UFC. UFC is everything still. Regardless, I love PFL. I'll keep covering PFL, but the UFC is the bread and butter now. Let's not act like the UFC isn't the main. Dyer has to finish. I think so too. Prop Father got it. Dyer decision. RDR sub. McVey KO. Oh shit. Rain G. Holy fuck. Respect AJ's dedication right there. W Brook the Rook. I love what I do, man. I love my fucking coverage of the sport, bro. I can't wait for the fight companion Saturday. It's like Finch said, call a spade a spade. Listen, I'm going to call the spade. It's Dyer wins by finish, but KO has to be it because, you know, more likely she rips up Elise Reed with some big shots than subs her. But I will say, never say never. It's like, you know, thinking of that makes me want to check. I was doing so many PFL notes last night, guys. I actually had a lot of fun. I like this PFL card a lot. The one PFL card where I really wish I could have gone, if they didn't have a UFC card Saturday, I would have went to PFL, but not with the UFC on. Shanelle Dyer's fighting career consists of 5 KOs and 2 decisions. It's most likely knockout, and I will predict that she wins by knockout. The chat in alignment with a shitload of the people going knockout. Not even a close poll. It's a one-sided ass whooping type of poll. It's Dyer by KO. Simple as fucking that. Not competitive. Dyer knockout. Takes the fucking cake in the biggest of ways with 67% of the people voting on it. I'm excited to get into this next fight here in a moment. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Next fight up the card, we got Wes Schultz versus Jackson McVey. Now, many will not know that this fight is actually a rematch. As young amateurs, these two faced off in the LFA. And Wes Schultz got a 40-second submission. Couldn't find the footage of the fight. Couldn't find it on their Instagram. Couldn't find it anywhere. I tried to find it on Fight Pass. I tried to watch that whole event. I couldn't find the amateur prelims. So fight is, you know, gone, I guess, in the halls of MMA what ifs. But regardless, I know that Schultz won by sub quick. Now they face off again. And Jackson McVey's big weakness seems to be grappling. He has a submission loss to kickboxer Zach Reese. He has a submission loss to judo, but really heavy-handed Bruno Ferreira. And his sole UFC win, he was able to go out and beat on Rodrigues Dumas. Rodrigues Dumas in 2026 seems like he's just taking fights for money. I don't know. We'll see what happens with him and Mickey Gall. Regardless, as much as I like Jackson McVey on the feet, Wes Schultz has a weird knack for putting people in weird positions on the fucking ground. Hey, W. Sherm from Jackson for gifting 10 memberships. You're an absolute gangster. I feel like Party Time Schultz is live to catch a fucking neck on McVey, live to wrestle him up. People shit on Schultz hard, right? But Ben Johnston, who gave him trouble last time, is a Muay Thai champion and a strong fucking 30-something-year-old man. McVey's weakness is the grappling. I think Schultz could take McVey down. And if Party Time Schultz, the former wrestler, gets to a good position on the mat, McVey life to get subbed up once again. I don't think I can believe in McVey in this matchup until he shows it against the grappler. Now, with that being said, if he goes out, defends the takedowns, and beats on Wes Schultz, okay. Like, all right, McVey's closed that hole. But as of right now, I say it's a hole. I mean, Zach Reese took him down 3 times. And I think Wes Schultz is kind of being slept on because of the Johnston fight going so badly early. But like, let's not forget, right? He took a fucking dangerous matchup against a Muay Thai champion across the fucking planet, you know? Did it in Australia. So it's not like he was at the UFC Apex getting thrown around. He's on the fucking, plane that takes a day to get there, jet lagged out, fighting at a weird time. I guess I just think to say that Wes Schultz isn't capable of getting this fight to the ground, isn't capable of getting it to a dominant position, I just feel as though I have to trust grappling over striking with questionable grappling. I mean, we saw it with Trent Miller, bro. I'm not saying Jackson McVey is that bad on the ground, by the way. But what I'm saying is he hasn't looked good grappling anybody that has good grappling. Hey, MXLOXO, thank you for the 279. What's the cycle parlay? I know you know. What's the cycle parlay? I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll see. Bana, 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 bana. Bana, 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 bana. You really want a cycle parlay? You donated, so I got to give you one. Douglas by KO, Jones decision, either Schultz or DeRitter by sub. Put DeRitter by sub for this week's best of MMA bets, though. The chat is pretty split on this one. I like it. I like it. See, Paku's got good takes. He said, you couldn't catch me dead picking McVey in a UFC fight. Respect on that. Listen, as much shit as people want to talk about the side of Wes Schultz, can we call a spade here? Guy fought against Mansour Abdul Malik, had a decent enough performance, losing in the second round. I know Malik got cooked by Stoltzfus, but Stoltzfus a lot more crafty than McVey. And then fought an undefeated fighter, Magaj, and he was able to fucking destroy him by a Sulov stretch. He debuts against the heavy-handed Damian Pinas and gets one-shotted. The same Damian Pinas who also one-shot KO'd kickboxing champion Cesar Almeida. And then he fights a Muay Thai world champion in Australia. And the Muay Thai world champion has some good wrestling too and looks strong as fuck. Just saying, man, I feel like I got to lean towards Schultz to pull it off. AK too much. Thank you for 99 cents. I think the simplest way, though, is not to sit here and fucking bet money line and be like, yeah, bro, I'm throwing it right down the center. Schultz is a dog. No, he has one pathway. I don't think any of us are necessarily blind to that. I think this is a violent fight. I think this is a fight that probably ends by finish. I think if you're back in party time, you're going party time Schultz by submission, which sits around plus 275. So let's find it here. I want to see if that's accurate. I actually saw it at 3-1. I don't give a shit, bro. At 3-1 odds, Schultz by sub, is it not worth at least looking at? Now, of course, the opposite side. McVey by KO at plus 180. Of course, that's live too. If you have the option of betting one person by sub, one person by knockout, that could be worth it. The party's never over, chat. I'm be honest, bro. I'm a party time Schultz fan. It is what it is, bro. Party time Schultz. I'm repping. I like McVey's style too. I think this fight's gonna be pretty fun as long as it lasts. What's the under 1.5? Jesus, they got that minus 180 for an under 1.5, and I don't really like that. Just put down a unit on both losing. Thank you for the 10, Sherm from Jackson. That's fucking great. Listen, bro, he's double siding it, bro. Double siding it, or are you saying you just joking around? The party never ends. True. Schultz sub, McVey KO. What else you guys want? You want over 1.5 at plus 157? Plus money. What else? Zach Reese has no chin and he survives McVey's clinch early. Fair point. Sub only on Schultz is minus 165. I fuck with that. That's actually pretty good because I don't think McVey's subbing him. If McVey wins, I think McVey's beating him up. It's minus 200 for the double chance. I do think the double chance is live. Like McVey around 1 or 2. Okay. Okay. Schultz by second round sub plus 1,100. I'll just throw 3 options up. Muhammad Ali needs to change his name. You know, it's a tough name to live up to. You know, one of the most influential athletes in the history of the world. And you got that same name. It's like you're almost destined to underachieve no matter how good you are at anything. Like imagine, you know, somebody named Michael Jordan. It's like no matter how decent he is, you know, he's going to underachieve. Okay, let's see. All right, 3 options up there. Obviously, you could just money line it, but I'm going to throw out 3 options in the poll. Why did I put over 1.5? Because it's plus money, bro. I'm not putting it under 1.5 at minus 170. Of course, bro. I remember Michael Jackson from the UFC. He fought CM Punk and Mickey Gall. AK too much. Thank you for $4.99. Have you seen the cut on Young's eye in an interview yesterday? Does it change your bet? Does it change my bet? Not yet. We'll see at the weigh-ins just how bad it is. But as of right now, no. I'm still picking him to win the fight. Definitely could be a problem later in the fight if Dorsainvil is able to cut him open. Fair point. You see Schultz dead in a gilly? Okay. Thank you for the dono, AK. Too much. We'll have to check it out. I saw the clip you're talking about, but I want to see it tomorrow at the weigh-ins. Then I think we'll know for sure. You get like a proper close-up. See how bad it is. He's like Diaz, but Stan has no chin. You don't think Stan can take a shot from him? See, man. Definitely think the side of Gage Young, being a veteran of the UFC at this point, or experienced fighter. I know people hate that I call him a UFC vet because he doesn't have that many UFC fights. But I think the experience is an edge. The weigh-in recaps tell all. Facts, Hollow. Stan's chin's wide open. He's the new Chapo. His jiu-jitsu is good. He's a black belt. But yeah, I think his striking leaves things to be desired. He's lanky. I just don't think he's ready, man. With only 5 pro fights to enter the UFC, that's a fucking big ask, man. Then you're going to debut against a guy who's won 2 in a row in the UFC? I think Gage Young should be a confident pick for the masses. The cut seems like the worry of the crew. Do you say the weigh-ins are pointless, Obi Corbian? The weigh-ins are far from pointless, man. All right. Next up, got a good one here. Let me throw this poll up and let's get it rolling. Okay. We got battle between Gage Young and Stan Dorsainvil. I'm picking the side of Gage Young. 2 straight wins in the UFC. Beat the side. Mashate was a dangerous kickboxer. And he was able to handle the side of Thiago Moises, a lightweight that's fought, a who's who list. Maybe not one of the best in the world, but has faced off against pretty much everybody. And then you have a short notice fill in, this young, debuting, long jiu-jitsu fighter. I don't trust in the side of Stan Dorsainvil to take Gage Young down and finish him. I think Gage Young's experience matters here. I think Gage Young can box with him pretty well on the inside. I think Gage Young can stop the takedown if, the grappler is looking to put him on his back. And I think Dorsainvil's going to get caught with some shots. Now, he's got a 6-inch reach advantage. That's a net positive. That's the one net positive you can say with Dorsainvil here is he has some long fucking arms, bro. But I have my doubts about just how well he'll be able to use that range. And the difference in experience, I think, is a crucial difference. So I'm going Gage Young to win. I called him as a confident pick at -125. The odds have gotten a little bit wider. You're probably not going to luck out and find that. Now he's like -160. But I still think Gage Young is a very sensible pick. And his tenure in the UFC, a 2-1 record, loss to Evan Elder, and then a loss on Contender Series to Quillen Salkild. I feel like you gotta assume that Gage Young is more than prepared for a guy that's had less than half the experience in the octagon than he has. There's 5 fights total. I just don't trust in a lacking of experience, man. I like that Gage Young has a lot of, a lot of fights compared to Dorsainvil. 14-5. That's a big difference. And I think that Gage Young should look pretty up for it in this matchup. Now, of course, knockout makes sense for Gage Young. It would most likely be later stage. I don't feel like a first round knockout is coming our way, but I don't think it's crazy to be like, hey, man, I think Gage Young is probably going to end up getting the knockout. Let's see. Gage Young to win over a round and a half is +105. I mean, Gage Young to win over a round and a half is not crazy. Okay, what else? What else? What else? What other props are calling you guys names? Drop some of your favorites in the live chat. I'm still looking for y'all's takes as well. You like the underdog? Young by finish. Let's see what Young by finish looks like. +260 for Young by finish. That's actually not bad. But I definitely think, you could just money line it on either side if you do like Dorsainvil instead of chasing. But I'm going to go Gage Young with some confidence, man. Stan Dorsainvil to win by finish. plus 400. By submission, plus 575. Yair did deprive us of a banger fight. How much of a letdown is that we don't get to see that fight? You like the new guy? He's got good energy, and Gage is really just mid. Damn. No love for Gage Young, man. All right. I saw the cut on the eye. We'll see what happens. But for now, we're going to assume it's a limited factor of issue. But at the weigh-ins tomorrow, I'll be able to get a better look, and we'll see. And we'll see for sure. We'll have an idea of what's really what. Yair really isn't fighting much anymore. I feel like Gene Silva and Delgado, it's like as good as Delgado is, I don't think he's ready for it. Delgado's striking is nice, but I feel like Gene Silva's power concerning. Then again, though, Delgado, good height advantage on him. Can you imagine Delgado just fucking shocks everybody? Say a prayer, I get this new job to be based. I pray you get this job, French potato. I pray you do. You can't say Young finish after seeing him not finish Thiago after having him hurt multiple times. Fair point. That's why I like Young to win over 1.5 more. Young by decision, you pick. Not crazy at all. Not crazy in the slightest bit. You think Gene psychs out Delgado? I could see it. I could see him giving him trouble, like a Melsic Bagdasarian type. Delgado's a good prospect regardless, but Gene Silva, it's a hell of a competition jump from Austin Bashi and Andre Fili. That's an immense jump in comp. I mean, Gene Silva beat Arnold Allen. It was pretty fucking good. Gene versus Villegas would have been it. I'm surprised that they didn't go that route. I don't get why that wasn't mentioned. I mean, maybe they offered it to Villegas. Maybe he said no. Villegas and Gene Silva would have been fucking fireworks. Arnold Allen is a gangster. True. Kevin would have been the best replacement. Assume he's booked against Lerone or he would have fought. Fair point, Matty Hill. You're right. A Lerone Murphy fight. Probably not one he'd jump out of to fight John Silva in a rematch. True. Well, the chat has decided on a just money line read. They're like, listen, we're keeping it simple and we're just money lining it. I respect it. Delgado did battle with Fili, which I think is a little bit worrisome. It has to be. All right, let's keep this poll running, man. All right, all right. Let's jump it up to our next fight on the card. Márcio Barbosa versus Ryan Kuse. I think it's Márcio Barbosa, round 1 KO. You got a guy stepping in for the chance of a lifetime against one of the most terrifying punchers at featherweight. Kuse is 9-2. He's fought at bantamweight before, lost a kind of controversial competitive fight with Smotherman at bantamweight. Oof. They're really just essentially using him as a sacrificial lamb. Now, what's crazy here is Márcio Barbosa by KO is minus 475. You're not getting much done with that. Márcio Barbosa by KO under 1.5. Sitting at minus 190. Holy shit. Ain't that something? Minus 190. They ain't giving you much, but I do think Barbosa KO under 1.5 makes sense. Minus 190. Now, of course, first round knockout makes sense too. Minus 145. Let's see if anything else is intriguing. My God. Holy shit. They don't have the under half a round option, but that'd be kind of cool. Barbosa, KO, round number 1. Like, what else are we really doing here? Is there really anything else that needs to be said? Round 1, sensible. Earlier than round 1, or like halfway into the round would be great, but that's not an option. Inside the distance, you don't want to know, bro. Minus 500 for Barbosa by finish. You really can't do anything here besides either go round 1 or KO under 1.5 rounds. Some people maybe like the dog. I don't think Ryan Kuse has a chance. I really think Barbosa seems to be one of the biggest locks in the history of this fucking sport. Reason being, he's a violent finisher. You know, Mitsubek Orabai was a huge favorite. But the problem with Mitsubek Orabai is, we saw his decision merchant ways a few times. Then he got subbed up. Barbosa knocks people out. His knack is violently chinning people. 15 wins by first round KO. Now, you want to go Barbosa by submission? Plus 1750. Barbosa does have 2 wins by submission. He won by submission in 2022. Plus 1750 Barbosa by sub. Would you degen attack it? I knew it wasn't going to win in the poll lineup, so I'm not going to put it. Plus 1750. Barbosa decides, fuck it, I rocked him. Let me sub him too. Kuse tries grappling. Barbosa strangles. Can you imagine that? Barbosa by fucking sub. I think knockout makes more than enough sense, but out of curiosity, Barbosa by sub in round 1 is plus 3,000. Sub is not a wild outcome. He's got 2 sub wins. Yeah, it should be a knockout. But a first round sub, very live, man. I think Barbosa more than up for it here. And puts on a fucking display. Karate Kid Madrid, thank you for $4.99. Kuse moving up in weight, looks slower and less skilled, way weaker schedule. He's getting slept. MMA Experts is the greatest MMA content in the game. Go, hey, W Karate Kid Madrid. You're a fucking G, bro. I appreciate you always hyping me up, homie. Hell yeah. I don't think Kuse is pulling off the wow upset of the year. Nah. Not a chance. This is not the Orabai Wells matchup. Wells was battle tested. Kuse isn't. Barbosa, it should be lock of the century. Barbosa, lock of the century. This is, I believe, the most sure thing in the history of the sport. At minus 1,000 odds, you can't do much with that, but it is a sure thing. Thoughts on Namo Fazil getting jumped by 15 Chechens? So that is pretty fucked, you know. The Chechens jumped his ass. But he does talk crazy shit. And those fucking Russians, they travel in packs, bro. They travel in packs, bro. That's crazy that it happened. He still got knocked out regardless. I'm sure he'll be back. I feel like the truth is he's a fighter that has a lot of fucking hype, regardless of a KO loss here. Like, can he go back to fighting in some basic ass promotion next time? It's almost like, not to say MVP MMA is going to throw him an offer, but if they sign him to a 2-fight deal, it's not an awful idea. I mean, he's got a lot of fans. Sherm from Jackson, thank you for the 10, bro. I'm going to have to go on Kalshi and bet that Kuse says I wasn't out as the ref stands over him just to make plus money. Is that an option? Because that would be the Kalshi bet of the week. Oh, absolutely, Fazil next season. Thank you for the 10, Sherm from Jackson. I think Fazil is 100% going to be back. And you're talking about the biggest crowd pop in the history of the UFC Apex. Ever. Ever. The biggest crowd pop of all time. Am I still a Fazil fan? I enjoy the theatrics. Got knocked the fuck out by Kaiki Brito. It was brutal. Brito didn't even have his eyes open for that punch, bro. His eyes were shut. And he just winged a bomb. A home run Hail Mary hit. And it fucking hit. So respect to him. You got to respect it. Brito looked good, too. Not going to give any, negative take on Brito. He was up for it. And then some. Getting a fucking knockout. Pretty badass. Next fight up the card, we got Taco Padilla versus Nasrat Haqparast. I think Taco Padilla should be able to do more damage here. I like Taco in the close range, getting some elbows off. I like Taco's clinch work. And I got to say, the underrated element of Taco's game is his ground skills. He's pretty good on the mat. Now, with all the positives for Taco being said and me going out and picking him, I got to give credit where it's due. I mean, Nasrat Haqparast has pretty quick hands. Nasrat can box. Nasrat had a good performance against Esteban Ribovics. But I also think Taco Padilla has a lot more to give still. I don't think we've seen the best of him. His last fight against Markel Mederos was a robbery draw. He won. But regardless, he missed weight, right? I don't think it was 100% Taco Padilla. I think it was a subpar Taco performance. I think that we see Taco look pretty good here against Nasrat Haqparast. And I think that he ends up getting the W. Does he knock him out? Maybe. I don't love saying knockout for sure, but definitely a chance that, Padilla finish comes through. What I like about Padilla for the finish, as far as the prop bet inside goes, I saw it was at plus 300. I mean, listen, plus 325, not crazy, but definitely still feels like a fight live to go distance. Padilla money line is plus money, so you could simply just money line it and keep it simple for yourself. Nasrat Haqparast got kicked in the head last fight. Essentially, he got hit by a fucking sow-killed baseball bat, and he got put to bed. Shit happens. Over 1.5 in this spot. Let's see what that sits at. Where's my guy at? Over 1.5? Jesus, minus 425. That sucks. Fight goes distance, minus 180. Jeez. Damn. You see a split decision. That's ballsy. The over 1.5 is good, but it's minus 425. So, you know, can't say I love it. Let's see. Padilla round 3 or decision plus 180. Does Padilla put Haqparast away? Haqparast is 2 UFC knockout losses come to Sal killed and Drew Dober. 2 terrifying forces to be reckoned with on the feet, especially like, 2020 Drew Dober. It's a tough out for Taco. I'll pick him to win, but, I recognize game. Taco round 3 or decision is plus 180. I'll put it in there mainly because at plus 180, I'd rather go that than go plus 220 for just decision off the off chance he does handle it. Let's see here. Fight ends in a competitive decision. That's what I want to see. Split or majority. I don't have that option to bet on Hard Rock from what I've seen, which that's kind of annoying. Damn, they're only giving you 4-1 for split or majority decision. Like they know something. You know? You know what I'm saying? That's weird. Hey, Sherm from Jackson, thank you for 10, bro. I'm gonna need you, Finch, maybe KZ to convince me on Taco. I don't like giving him my money. I'm not gonna force you to bet Taco because if you watch Wednesday's show, I didn't put him as the underdog lock. I still gave him out as a plus money play, but I didn't have that like, yeah, I'm gonna lock Taco this time. But one thing I'll say is every time I've locked Taco as an underdog, he's won. I'm undefeated with Taco Padilla underdog locks. Yeah. I saw Dean Thomas announce that he's making his return to cornering. Bro, don't get me. I don't think Dean even does it intentionally, bro. I swear he's just not even aware. He don't know what he's doing. He's kind of just all over the place. He goes from, yeah, I'm retiring from cornering. This is it for me. Oh, yeah, I'm actually cornering Sean Brady. Okay. All right, cool. I'm making my comeback to cornering. Nice, bro. The only reason it's really a thing is because they put him as such a staple part of the broadcast. I actually think the UFC or, Paramount Plus puts Dean Thomas as a big part of the broadcast because they enjoy the nonsense. Like, I almost think that they know he looks like a fucking moron sometimes, but like they almost like it, you know? They almost like that he's gonna say some shit like, "I'm not coaching him." Like they want him to have a crash out. Think about how many fucking views they've gotten from him saying dumb shit on Deep Waters. These clips going viral. We're talking about Dean Thomas, bro. We're talking about Dean Thomas right now, a fucking MMA coach. An MMA coach that hasn't fought in MMA in how long? Last MMA fight was 2013. Hasn't fought in the fucking UFC since 2008, bro. He hasn't fought in the UFC since I was a fucking child. And we talking about Dean Thomas right now. So, in some sense, he's doing a pretty good job. He's staying kind of in the conversation. You know? In some sense, he is. We're still talking about it. He's still being mentioned. So I think in some ways it works out. Najrat is good, so he's live. Probably better spots on the card. Respect. Wow. Just money line it wins. Just fucking money line it. Takes the cake. They watch the podcast for him or Poirier or Masvidal. True, but listen, they need good side characters. Dean works as a side character, bro. It's entertainment value, I guess. All right. Let's keep running these polls up. Thank you for the blessings, bro. All right. Next fight up the card. We got Kenley and Nzechukwu versus Shamil Gaziev. All right. So we got the former light heavyweight turned heavyweight versus the fat boy. Shamil Gaziev is so fucking fat, bro. Like, it's almost like I want to pick Nzechukwu simply because of how fucking out of shape. Like, how? How is Gaziev built like gelatinous goop as a pro fucking fighter? Like, bro, he's fat as shit. And he's not even like that strong fat. Like, he just looks like a fucking fat guy. Terrible build. But he's a 14-3 pro. You're right. And I got Kenley and Nzechukwu, who's like rather fucking mid. Shamil Gaziev is a more natural heavyweight, and he is decent. I think we give Shamil Gaziev a hard time, but he's not awful. His losses come against Brando Perisic, who's really an upstanding prospect on the rise with big knockout power. He got knocked out in one shot by Waldo. It's fucking Waldo. Waldo is really good. And he lost a few years ago in a difficult fight against former pro kickboxer Jairzinho Rosenstruik. Three guys that I rate a lot higher than Kennedy and Nzechukwu. So, regardless of some fucking rough losses, he has lost only to some of the better fighters in the game. That's not to say Nzechukwu has no chance. I think that the power Nzechukwu has could lead to a knockout. I think on the flip side, Gaziev, deceptive punching power, could lead to a knockout. I do think this fight is live to end by KO. Fight to go the distance or not to go the distance, minus 350. Fight 10 by KO, minus 190. And Nzechukwu by KO is plus 225. Gaziev decision plus 475. Over 1.5 is minus 130. I actually think that these boys could end up going over 1.5. Let's see. What is like round 3? Either fighter to win in round 3 plus 475. And Nzechukwu to win in round 3 plus 900. Like a later stage finish for Nzechukwu of a tired fat boy, not sounding that crazy to me. It depends on if Gaziev's wrestling works here. I really think that's what it comes down to. Does Gaziev's wrestling work? If Gaziev can get this fight to the ground, control some position, and use that weight, I think Gaziev is live for a win. Kennedy definitely has the hand speed that makes you think maybe for him to win by KO. So, for the sake of that feeling of maybe, I will put the KO as a votable option. It's plus 225. Now, on the side of Gaziev, how would you bet him? I don't even really want to. I don't know, man. I'm having like a hard time with, telling you to ride with him. And Nzechukwu has been knocked out twice before. Gaziev has been knocked out 3 times. Somebody's live to go to sleep. I showed 3 people who don't watch MMA a picture of both of them, and they all picked Gaziev. He's meant to win. Skeevy, thank you for $4.99. I'm surprised, bro, that they picked the fat boy. Maybe it's because, they know of the Dagestanis. I think Kennedy is live to win this shit. I think Kennedy's live for it. I missed your super chat, KZ. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. KZ, thank you for the 50 NIO. Guys, double thank you to KZ. I'm sorry I missed it the first time, bro. Kennedy is as restarted as Gaziev looks. Might be the reason to fade him because Kennedy fight IQ, not great. You could just money line it. You could go Gaziev. He's live for a KO at plus 162. Let me look at something. All right, hold on. Group betting, winning rounds. Gaziev wins round 1 or 2. Plus 170. I don't know. I think just money line it is actually a pretty fine option here. Because there is a chance that Gaziev wrestle fucks him. Gaziev got some grappling. Chad is really on Nzechukwu. Wow. I'm surprised by that. The favorite is Gaziev. Gaziev is a slight favorite here at minus 140. Not a huge favorite at all. The thing is, Gaziev, if he's able to get Kennedy down and just smother him up, it's not a bad strategy. And like Kennedy could be tired as fuck. I feel like this shit is live to go over 1.5. But then again, you're dealing with a big boy and fucking Nzechukwu. I think this is the fight that you sit back and watch. You have a good time. You open up a fucking popcorn, whatever. Whatever you do to unwind during these fights is smoke a cigarette. Whatever you think is right. Something like that makes sense. Andre Petrosky's fighting Azamat Bakoyev. Oh, Karate Kid Madrid. Thank you for $9.99. He says Kennedy should win. I'd say he has the easiest path to victory. I sound like Mike Tyson. That can be dictated by his physical attributes. It's the IQ and poise that makes it tough. The Dreshki win has me seeing a Kennedy W. I definitely see the hand speed there. I definitely see the knockout potential there. I definitely see the threat of his length coming into play as there. Like, I definitely don't think picking Kennedy is a bad pick. I think there's argument for both guys to be had. The close line makes you, essentially tempted to go for either or. I think Bakoyev should beat him too. True. Gaziev has the craziest build ever, yeah. Built like mush. Dude, fuck performance. Just to like get out there shirtless like that, I'd be like, geez, I gotta lose some fucking fat. I'd be like, I gotta lose some fucking weight, man. I'd be like, I look like shit. It's like, why would you want to be known as the guy with the worst physique in the fucking heavyweight division? You see what I'm saying? You can see him throwing his cross like he did against Lucas and drawing out a counter or landing a check hook to counter. I definitely don't think it's a wild take, Karate Kid Madrid. Kennedy's a big boy with fast hands, and Gaziev's chin has been put on check 2 straight times. When Gaziev was on PEDs, he didn't look like such a fatso. But when he got off, bro, he lost all his muscle. He looks like a fucking, I don't know, bag of fucking milk, dude. Seriously. It looks like fucking thing of like homemade cheese just sitting there. Yeah. Definitely nasty. Definitely built like moosh. Moosh build. But we'll wish the moosh the best because I'm picking the mush. So physiques don't win fights. We'll go with the mush. The mushy savage to jiggle his way to a motherfucking W and pull off maybe a wow moment. Oh my God. He lays on Kenny and Nzechukwu for 3 rounds. I don't think Wint's on steroids, bro. I think Wint just has absolute freak genetics, bro. It's hard for some folks to fucking understand, but freaks exist. Next fight up, Jamall Emmers versus Lahian Douglas. If it's not a Lahian Douglas KO, I don't know what it is. It's so much of a Lahian Douglas KO that I literally did a whole segment on this week's Best MMA Bets called the Lahian Douglas Knockout Prop Ladder. I went in depth about Douglas to win by knockout and how we could potentially capitalize on making some more fucking cash on the knockout prop. Because, if you just go straight after a knockout, of course, it's not going to be that good. Minus 200. It was minus 80 yesterday? Now it's minus 200. So, yeah, Douglas by knockout is making more than all the sense in the world. But, it's minus 200. So it's like, I got to find something else I can do with it here. Douglas by knockout under 2.5 rounds. How about that? Minus 160. Okay, that's not bad. But what about under 1.5? Now you got minus 110. Douglas KO under 1.5. Minus 110. I think that he's winning by knockout in the first or second round. Now, just out of curiosity, if you're like, yo, what if I go with the winning rounds, though? Douglas round 1 or 2 win. Minus 190. They already got your ass, bro. Lahian Douglas to win round 1 or round 2. I don't even know if I can parlay it up with the KO. They won't let me. Of course they won't. So I think to myself, what's the way to do it then? Well, I like the idea of going rounds. The strong attack, you could go Lahian Douglas by KO under 1.5, let's say. Or even just KO straight. But then you could pick some rounds. For round 1, Lahian Douglas KO, you're not getting much. It's plus 115. So that's why I'm more pushing the under 1.5 because you get 2.5 extra minutes for, 25 more points towards the favorite status. But so the fuck what? Or the way you run it is you go with the KO or the KO under 1.5. You pick a round. Round 2 plus 550. Round 3 plus 16. I think that's the way to go for it, man. I think a round 2 A round 3 play, not a bad look at all. Especially with round 3. My God. It's plus 1,600. You can end up in a good way, with a Douglas KO early round 2 and that KO under 1.5. Like, that could end up looking real nice for you. So, that's kind of the way you can run it. If you like the dog, hey, respect to you. He's a big dog. But Lahayan Douglas to win by knockout in the first 2 rounds seems pretty fucking live. You know? It feels like the only fucking way. If Lahayan Douglas sells, I think I'll be shocked. AJ, is Tommy Gunn's next fight a lock? Isaiah Campos, thank you for 199. Marwan Rahiki is really fast, but he gets hit so fucking much. I think it could be like one of those drag them out dog fights. And where Tommy Guns might surprise everybody is showing the wrestling. Or potentially hurting the side of Rahiki and then jump into a dominant position. As much as he's been a slugger on the feet, in the back pocket, he does have a capable ground game. And Rahiki getting hit a lot, bro. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to probably go Tommy Guns. Lahayan Douglas, Márcio Barbosa, who wins? Jeez. That's a fucking wild fight. I actually got to tell you, I don't feel confident in a pick between those two. It would be one of the scariest fights ever. It's, could end fast. Could also be a fight where they both play it slow. Because they're like, oh shit, this fucker hits hard. This fucker hits hard. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely think Lahayan Douglas has a much tougher matchup this weekend. Lahayan Douglas is taking on a tough guy in Jamall Emmers. Barbosa kind of getting spoon fed a little bit. Favorite prospect right now, bro? I feel like there's like too many. There's too many good ones. Iwo Baranushki, I really fuck with a lot. But like then there's Rahman Yakea and there's Douglas on this card. Fucking Bilal Hassan bursting onto the scene. Him and all Rodrigues is fire. Michael Oliveira, another good one. Emmers does have a solid ground game. Breakdown PFL. Yeah, I'll do the video after this. I got to finish this show first, though. PFL picks will be up at some point. They'll be up. You'll get them. We got to close out the prelims, and then we'll do it. Donchenko, another great one. My favorite prospect is Matt Adams. Never been face down, ass up, KO'd ever. Sherm from Jackson, thank you for the 10, bro. He said he's going down to light heavyweight. Maybe he'll return to Dana White's Contender Series and fight Muhammad Ali next season at light heavyweight. They bring Ali back for part 3. Dakota Bush by KO, bro. Dakota Bush got a knockout in his last fight, but recognize he's a fucking grappler, bro. Not saying he doesn't win. I know you're on Movzar, and I'm not talking of Loyev. See, Luis Amparano's a real fucking fan, bro. Ha ha ha. Luis Amparano. You know that I know you know. And I know you know that I know exactly what you're talking about. The real ones know. The PFL fans know what's what. Oh, yeah. I'll hint it to you now. I like that shit a lot. Douglas by KO, obvious chat pick. The real knowers know. PFL been fire, bro. I love PFL. I can't wait for the pick show. Yeah, I'm doing the pick show after this stream. I think you just quoted dodgeball. It's funny as fuck. That's funny as shit. If you can dodge a ranch, you can dodge a ball. All right. We're about to get up to the main card here in a second. Sending love from Melbourne. Hey, W, Lorda. W, bro. Good to see you. Woo. Right. If you're wondering why I'm looking at my screen and typing something before every fight, because I'm getting my timestamps done earlier so I don't have to do them after. Next fight up the card. Oh, shit. Main event time. We got Anthony Wint versus Terrence Chatman. Main event. Main card. I think this is the people's main event. I think Anthony Wint has to be the pick, bro. Listen, Terrence Chatman, he's got a right hand on him. He's a decent striker. Trains with Joshua Van's crew. I just feel like you gotta favor Wint to be ferocious. Wint to throw some fucking heavy shots from top position, probably take Chatman down. Just beat the shit out of him, bro. Like, you gotta favor Wint. You can't pick against Wint here. That's my thought process. You know, trying to pick Chatman, it's like trying to pick Matt Adams. I don't think Chapman's bad, but I know nothing of his defensive grappling, and he's a big boy. He's thick on the fatter side, and I gotta feel, pretty strong about Wint going out and showing out. That's what I'm gonna say. I think Wint goes out and shows out. Like, it's Wint or what? It's like, come on, this guy hits too fucking hard, bro. He hits too hard. It's not the fight to fade him on. If he was fighting a crafty veteran, maybe I'd be thinking something different, but he's fighting a guy without much experience, and it's a short notice call-in, too, for him. Now, he's a minus 1,000 favorite. Of course he is. Anthony Wint, he's a confident pick. I didn't put him in most confident picks yesterday because I'm like, I'm not putting two minus 1,000s, The show, there's also got to be an element of fucking fun for the show. But yeah, I'm pretty confident Wint wins at minus 1,100, bro. Wint by KO, minus 350. All right. Wint by KO, the lock of the year. Minus 350. What's KO round one? Wint KO round one. Minus 150. Okay. I do think it's a round one knockout. The only thing I wish Hard Rock would add would be half a round. That'd be fun. But they don't have half a round. Anthony Wint by KO under 1.5, minus 190. Okay. All right. Pretty simple lineup, bro. Not going to overthink it or stress myself out with this one. Going to keep it pretty fucking simple. All right. Just realized I forgot to get the Lahayan Douglas voters poll. Damn. Doesn't matter. I still got the poll for the actual prop bet inside. The votable poll. Yeah, it was obviously Douglas is a huge fucking favorite pick from the chat. I just think Wint's too fucking powerful to fade. Like, okay, you get some experience vet. Different then. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Went under half a round and hold your breath. I don't have the option to play it, but yeah, I definitely don't think it's a bad look. What is the under half a round line for you guys that can bet it? Or as Finney slimes out Wint. Why don't you change your page, Real Torres Finney, to the real Anthony Wint for this weekend? Why not have some fun with it for a little bit, man? And then when Torres Finney fights again, you can put it back to Torres. Plus 140? Okay. I mean, I didn't mention any of the Wint bets during yesterday's show because, you know, you can't do much with them. You're right. He did change it to real Xingming and lost all aura. True. True. If only AJ knows the bullshit useless beyond. What has he been up to, man? What's my boy been doing? Hey, what's up, Star Power? Chilling, bro. Yeah. What's wrong with Yair? They're saying he's injured. I don't know, man. I thought he was moving up to 155. What vet would I take over Wint? That's a good question. I mean, I feel like I'd have to pick somebody like a Kuniev against him. One of the more credentialed heavyweights, unranked guys. It's a fun thought experiment. Unranked heavyweights, who would I pick? I could see Golcom, Saracom giving him problems. Gable Steveson, of course. He's probably putting out a lot of people. Did you act like Orbai was unbeatable in Fazo? What you gonna say when Wint gets flatlined? Probably be like, what the fuck if that happens? I'd probably be like, what the fuck? I mean, listen, I think he wins though. I'm gonna pick him all day. Wint or Petrino, it's like it's hard to pick him there, you know? Petrino's got some fucking test to the battle. You think Gaziev blobs him? We'll see what's what with Wint, but I don't think he loses this one. Like, if he is destined to lose as a prospect, I don't think a guy making his debut takes him out. You know? The problem with gambling on Wint in general, bro, is the money line is not playable. There's not much value on the knockout prop. So you have to pick the under 1.5 at minus 190. Wint only loses if he gets blobbed. Can Chatman learn the blob ways in his debut? Thank you for the 10, Sherm from Jackson. Here's my thought process on Chatman and why this is a hard matchup for him. Because he's not a blob stylist. His style is kickboxing. He likes to throw strikes. He likes to rip heavy kicks. He likes to land that big right hand. He's not really a cage smother type. He's not a wrestler. He's a striker. Wint gets on top of him, this shit's over before it even begins. You know? But I just don't think Chatman's the guy to send them out yet. I don't think Chatman's got enough experience. True, the common opponent, the guy that gave Wint his toughest fight, Chatman KO'd in one shot. True. True. But, you know, the MMA math element to that doesn't always translate. All right, let's keep running up the card. We got a little bit more on this main card. All right. Next fight up the card. We got the ladies going after it. Carli Judice versus Jeisla Chaves. I feel it's essentially a Carli Judice showcase chance. She's fighting a fellow striker that's not as technical as she is. That's not as naturally gifted as she is. She's pretty athletic, but like Chaves kind of explodes into range with big shots, whereas Judice can pick people apart from distance. I just don't think Chaves is nearly as good. I don't think she won on Contender Series either. Chaves is not bad. No, she's not bad, but it's a matchup that favors Judice all day. You know? It's a matchup where Judice could really look good on the feet. I feel like Chaves is going to lose the battle of kickboxing skill. Even if Chaves lands a couple of shots, I don't think she has the pop to put Judice away. And I think kicks to the body could absolutely drain Chaves. Judice could volume TKO her, but I think the most likely outcome here is Judice wins over a round and a half. Whether it's a knockout, the first, second, or third, push towards later stage. I think Judice goes out and outpoints Chaves with potential for stopping her at some point. But I'm assuming this fight hits that over 1.5 mark because I feel like that makes a lot of sense to me. Judice, a pretty lopsided favorite, minus 525. And that over 1.5 played with it for Carli Judice brings it to minus 165. Not telling you it's the greatest line of all time. I'm just telling you, I think Judice to win over a round and a half makes some sense, especially for a ladies fight. Let's see. Judice over 1.5 by KO plus 450. It's risky. That's risky territory. But you're looking for D-Gen shit. Let's see. Judice decision plus 130. That's trash. But it's live. Okay. Let's see what's what. Judice got 76% of the chat's fucking vote. pretty lopsided. Pretty lopsided. It's a fight that favors her. You know, the Juliana Miller fight was fairly competitive, but Miller's a hell of a grappler. She doesn't have that worry in this fight. You think just the over 1.5? I don't think it's a terrible idea. Not even picking a winner, just going over 1.5. But I like Judice over 1.5. You got that minus 150. That's even better. I think it hits. You know? I think it hits. I think it hits. Nasty knee to the stomach or head. I'm thinking body shot to do big damage and a later stage stoppage. I think it's possible. You know? Chad J. Hey, W Hollow Heretic. W, bro. You're a savage. Chad J. 58%, 55% liking it. Bro, that Judice over 1.5 is looking juicy Judice, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I feel like she'll do it. Let's see what's what, though. Chad is on it. Over 1.5 minus 165. I agree. Ooh, 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 ooh. Juliana Miller put her in a bad spot and had the back. Yeah, true. Miller was in it. Yeah, Miller, bro. Miller gave her trouble. Miller's ground game is so good, you know? That's not the threat here. That's not the threat. In this matchup, Chaves has got to play Judice's game, and I don't think she plays it as well. Ace Boogie, thank you for $4.99, bro. RDR in round 2 to start. Sergey moneyline, Mason Jones decision, Dyer double chance TKO or decision, Lahayan moneyline, Judice round 2 start plus 1753. That looks like one of the most alive plus 1753 parlays I've ever seen, bro. Yeah. I think you got it. I think you're so live, bro. I think you're so on it, bro. I say yes. Oh, 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 oh. Judy's overrated. Yeah, but is she going to lose this one, Xbox King Cam? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see it. Mederos could beat Jones. I will say, man, Mason Jones is scary. Mason Jones, he's got the threat of more violence, but with Mederos, the one thing about him is low kick, point fighting, moving. So we'll get to that fight in just a minute here, man. We'll get to it in just a second. All right. Next fight up the card, we got Markel Mederos versus Mason Jones. So the thought process I have here is Markel Mederos being light on his feet could have some movement early, stay away from Mason Jones, pick at the legs, and even counter well and get some shots off. But the ultimate problem with Markel Mederos is simply the lack of sheer punching power against a guy that is incredibly resilient and very much a pressure brawler. As good as some of these, technical kickboxing merchant types can be, like a Markel Mederos, when you get a guy that just does not stop pressuring and throws hard punches, hard kicks, and has a bit of a takedown game, it's hard to keep it running for a full 15 minutes and stick and move. Like, sure, could Markel maybe stick and move on Mason for the first round? I guess. But it's going to be hard to keep up such a movement and point fighting style, avoiding the dog fight in a matchup like this against Mason Jones. I think the issue lies on that Markel Mederos doesn't bring the knockout power. I look at if Mason Jones was fighting somebody with some consequence, different conversation. Mason Jones will eventually run into trouble here at lightweight. But I don't think Markel Mederos is the guy to put him down. I don't think Markel Mederos is the guy to break him down. And I don't think Markel Mederos is the guy to end Mason Jones' win streak. But with all that being said, I do think he's live to go over a round and a half. I do think this fight is live to go distance. I think Mason Jones could get touched a little bit here. So we'll see what's what. Mason Jones on the cards, kind of making some sense. Right? Jones by decision. Let's see. Plus 130. Fight to go over 1.5 is 4-1. Mason Jones wins over 1.5, minus 150. I don't love. Mason Jones fighting history. 8 knockout wins. Markel Mederos, never been stopped before. Tough, bro. Tough, bro. You know? Mason Jones should pull it out. How do you guys like it? What method of victories? What's the method of victory calls that you guys like? What do you think? Mason Jones decision? I like. Decision. It seems like decision's the consensus. Mederos plus 3.5. Respect. You're flying to Shanghai on Saturday, Therese Finney? Nice, bro. Fight goes distance. Let's see. Fight goes distance. Let's find out what's what. Minus 155. Not a crazy take. Dogger pass, maybe? I feel like the props are not all that interesting here. Maybe ground and pound from Mason Jones. But does he get the sub? He should pull it off, but I do think Markel Mederos could give him a bit of a test. Give him a bit of a push. Video for PFL? Yeah, I'll do it after this stream, bro. I will be doing a PFL breakdown after this. After this. After this shit. Yeah, all the polls will be in the Discord after the stream. I don't think it's crazy to say dog or pass. I don't think it's nuts. But I like fight goes late. Fight goes long. Hey, Rangy, you'll eventually be in the mod status, bro. I know. I saw him trolling. I wasn't even getting into it, bro. I just replied to him once in the chat. But he does that, bro. If you guys have seen Rust through my stream or Finch's stream, and I'm sure in other chats, he's a little bit of like an agitator type, man. He's looking to rile me up in some way, but bro, Big J just too chill, dog. Especially now. Today I'm feeling good. How do you get into Discord? If you're a member, you can join it in the community tab or the members only tab. He always says weird shit. He always likes to play that game. He loves to, what he does is he likes to be very passive aggressive, but then he likes to walk it back. Well, it's an entertaining show while also talking shit. I don't really know what the intention is, you know? It's rather weird. Numbers are not even real. He just makes up numbers. And yeah, obviously last week was fucking shit for the parlays, but okay. So one bad week. What about the other weeks that were fire? Yeah, exactly. He says the best show. It's just he likes to stir the chat up by also playing the nice guy. He'll be back eventually. That's how he goes. That's the Russ Cole regular, bro. I've seen it before. He's been watching the channel for a while, bro. If Mason wins, I mean, you gotta assume they give him a good fucking fight eventually, right? Hey, W prop father. Let's go. I feel like Mason Jones wins again. It's like we got to step this competition up, you know? Markel Mederos, I don't think it makes any fucking sense that he's fighting Mason Jones, to be real. Mason Jones, Dariush would actually be cool if they did it in Australia. You know? Mason Jones is a little certified street gangster. Yeah, sure. I don't mind people recommending, hey, I like this guy too. That's cool, bro. I'm glad I like who you like. But it's just like weird that it's like acts like not anybody but me has had a week where we miss on stuff, right? It's like it's strange. I don't know. Strange activity. W. Jorik Baratanov, Mr. fucking Chechnya. Thank you for becoming a member, bro. All love. All love, bro. It's like weird, bro. It's like acting like I'm the only guy that's ever missed a pick before. I always find that rather strange, man. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know. I guess that's the entertainment for the day. Bro, Sola is the real deal. I agree. And Jones beating him, pretty sick. Pretty sick. We'll see what's what, man. Mason Jones should be able to go out and pass the test of Markel Mederos. Markel Mederos has seen me pick against him in his past too. I doubt he'll ever join the show again. He was upset in the chat after the last one. But this is why I don't focus on the fighter interviews, because I'll tell him, say, listen, I'm eventually going to pick against pretty much everybody. Eventually, there will be somebody that I pick against you, you know, and it is what it is, regardless, you know. And if that's not really something they want to hear, which I get it, you know, it's like, well, fuck it, don't watch. I don't blame them for not watching, and I don't take it personal either, man. Mason Jones, Dan Hooker. If Dan Hooker gets cooked by Parnas, maybe. Let's see what's what. Parnas, Saladin Parnas. Saladin Parnas. Saladin Parnas. Saladin, the Riddler, baby. W. Sherm from Jackson. Thank you for the 5. About to get into this next fight in just a second. I just want to get the timestamp, bro. I'm timestamping this shit up. All right. Next fight, Reinier de Ridder versus Roman Dolidze. At light heavyweight, I like this so much more for de Ridder. I feel like at light heavyweight, he could still do some work in the UFC. I don't think it's over for Reinier de Ridder because he lost 2 tough fights at 185. Dolidze's looking pretty bad as of late. And like, even if you look into Dolidze's win streak that he had, Marvin Vettori win, which is not really aged all that well. Kevin Holland win, and then an Anthony Smith win, and that's 2 years ago. Hernandez dogged him, and then Leroy Duncan beat him. He did land a takedown late and whatnot, but I just think Roman Dolidze is kind of in a lopsided matchup. He's fighting a guy that's better at his, on paper, best area, right? Like Reinier de Ridder is the better grappler. And the edge that Dolidze has had in a couple of the recent wins has been the grappling. Now, against Marvin Vettori, he actually showed hands, but like Marvin Vettori doesn't move his head. He's not fast. Marvin Vettori is essentially just durable, and that win doesn't tell me a lot. I mean, Reinier de Ridder has, on paper at the least, the skill set to give some light heavyweights real trouble, especially coming in big and strong. Reinier de Ridder on the ground catches my eye, and I think to myself, okay, how does he win? I do believe there is a possibility that Reinier de Ridder could find a dominant position and win this fight by submission. At plus 250, de Ridder sub is definitely a live outcome. But with that being said, I could see him winning a decision. I could see him just kind of outworking Dolidze and getting it on the cards. I would much prefer it's de Ridder finishing the job. But with Roman Dolidze's career, he has 1 submission loss, and it came in the 4th round against Anthony Hernandez, this being a 3-round fight. So, you know, maybe, maybe not. I want to say the sub because the value is higher. Oh, fuck yeah, look at the plus money. That could get you in trouble. De Ridder to win over 1.5 minus 150. Let's see. De Ridder by sub round 2 plus 900, sub round 3 plus 12. Hey, you want to go De Ridder late stage sub? Let's just see what De Ridder by sub over a round and a half is. Plus 700 for De Ridder to win over a round and a half by sub. That's not bad for a little degen. Fight goes distance is minus 110. With a decision for De Ridder at plus 130 or a fight goes distance at minus 110, I kind of like fight goes distance more. RDR sub round 3. Just RDR wins round 3. I don't think he wins by knockout, really. But just out of the curiosity, let's see. RDR round 3 plus 850, round 2 plus 600. RDR sub round 2 plus 900, round 3 plus 12. Do we get greedy and just hunt for the sub only? Yeah, so. Right. All right. RDR saying he'll go back to what he's really good at. I heard that too. And that tells me he's looking to grapple fuck, which I like to hear. Hoping he does that. I'm hoping it's a typical grapple fucking type match. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, bro. I got distracted for a second. I was reading about YouTube's new monetization updates. For those of you that are building channels like, you know, some of the guys we got in chat, like KZ, Useless, etc., etc., they're updating like how to be monetized and stuff like that. So something worth looking at if you're looking to get monetized. There are going to be some changes, and it's not going to be as easy. It's going to be more financial compensation for the bigger channels like myself and channels that are already established. But you're just starting out, like, you know, you're going to have to maintain and such. So just little things to know. Little things to know. If Therese Finney has really been useless this entire time, actually, really, how'd you guys find this out? He's Therese Finney? Wow. That's crazy. Did you hit a bong rip? No. No. Sober J. The real Therese Finney is useless. I low-key love that if it is. For the lore, I hope it is. Wow, it's him? Wow. How'd you guys find out? Paku is the detective. He got wow. That's fucking crazy. The real Therese Finney is useless. That's fucking funny, man. Wow. That's his secret account, bro. This is like we just found out the identity of Batman. That's crazy. Yo, H, I love you. WJ3Y, love you too, homie. Yo, Jay hit a ripski for the co-main. I hit a spiritual ripski. But Sober Jay is happy as fuck. Oh, shit. It's PDX Hoya. Thank you for the year of membership, homie. Flying a sack tomorrow for the card. One good prop for me. Yeah, let me get you one. Okay. Okay. Are you looking for high confidence? You looking for most likely outcome? You looking for most plus money? What is the, you know, TDX Hoya mentality, bro? Because if you're just looking for confidence, I think Douglas by knockout is making all the sense in the world. And you can make something happen here. You could go Douglas KO under 1.5 with also hitting round 2 prop and round 3 prop for knock. Sherm from Jackson, thank you for the 10, bro. He says, don't worry. Just wrote a backwood in your honor. Let's fucking go, Sherm. All right, so you rolled a backwood in my honor. So I got to ask you something, Sherm. Were you here in the Ripski J days when I was a big stoner? Because I don't think you were. Like, you missed the Pothead J era. Between plus 150, plus 250? Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, shit. You want a party? It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Wes Schultz by sub is plus 300. I mean, knockout from McVey's plus 180. One of them's going to hit. You weren't? You were there after? Damn, sure. Bro, I was fucking Pothead J on the stream for years. Yeah, I do. Rastaman J. Yeah, Guan, it's the big one. We're taking the Ribski one. We're going to do the Ribski. Kind of hit it. Bro, I was doing Ribskis like a savage, bro. I'd be so stoned on stream. I was doing it for years, bro. And then one day, I stopped. One day I stopped, bro. Yeah, when I was tweaking on the Rain energy drink, that was crazy. Fuck all that, man. I like sobriety for myself now, though. You know, I felt like I had a weed problem, bro. I was smoking all fucking day. Volcano J did end it all, bro. Volcano Rasta, that's crazy, dude. I used to get so stoned on stream. Getting stoned wasn't even a thing for me. I was just always stoned. I literally was taking rips on rips on rips on rips, bro. Crazy timeline. Rastaman J was legendary. It's a cult classic forever. I'm enjoying Sober J, though. I won't lie. Streaming while high sounds really bad to me. Bro, one of the reasons that pulled me off is I had a full-blown fucking panic attack on Moneyline. I thought I was dying. I was fully convinced, bro. I was in the, bro, if there's a Moneyline episode, bro, like my eyes are rolling in the back of my head. I don't know how I was keeping it together. I felt like I was going to pass out, bro. PDX Hoya, thank you for $19.99. Party time is the pick. I know when I'm being punked, bud. Bro, I'm a party time Schultz guy. It is what it is, bro. It's a problem. It's a problem. I might have to stop being a party time Schultz guy, PDX, but I'm repping party time. Thank you for $19.99. Bro, a lot of the props are like minus money props. I like Spivac to win straight. Underdog. Yeah, fuck the paranoia, bro. I was paranoid, bro. It was bad, bro. That was rough. That was hell, bro. Oh, the worst. The worst. That was, dude. I literally, like, I was convinced, well, I'm dead. It is what it is. Crazy looking back at it. Look at me now. Look at me now. All right. I want to jump up to the next fight. All right. Let's run it with the co-feature. It's Sergey Spivac versus Vitor Petrino. I'm going with Sergey Spivac, and I don't care. I'm betting the underdog. I already bet the underdog. I'm going Sergey Spivac as a dog, bro. Plus money. You don't need to chase a prop when you got Sergey Spivac as your underdog lock, bro. I fucking look at that bar right there. Spivac money line plus 130. Call my name. Call my name. I'm a Sergey Spivac fanatic, bro. Throwing big shots. He's coming at it. Sergey Spivac, big, strong heavyweight versus a guy that I think is a little overrated. Not that technical. He's jacked. He's in shape. But I just don't feel like Petrino's that good, bro. Last fight, he looked pretty mid against a guy that I think would get killed by Spivac. I love me some fucking Asplin, bro, but Spivac would choke him out in the first fucking 2 minutes of that fight. He would take him down quick, bro. Spivac is a different animal than this. Spivac to win by decision is plus 350. Submission is plus 5. Spivac to win this fight over 1.5 rounds plus 210. That doesn't sound crazy. I like the money line better, but just saying. And then if you like Petrino, you might be thinking KO. Spivac could also win by decision. Well, Petrino by finish plus 165, KO plus 220. Like he's got to sleep him, and I don't think he's going to sleep him. Spivy looking spiffy. Let's go, Sherm from Jackson. Thank you for the 5. I agree, bro. I agree. It's motherfucking Spivac time, chat. Sergey Spivac. He's coming, making it happen, yeah. Sergey Spivac don't play, bro. Let me tell you something. I don't know, man. I think Petrino's got a lot of question marks to be had around what he brings to the table. Enough so where when I look at an underdog with UFC experience on the opposite side, I think I go Spivac all day, man. So Spivac to get me back on business. That's what's what. Yeah, Finch and I both picked Sergey Spivac. And Finch typically likes Vitor Petrino picks. Like against Asplin, he did call him. You think Asplin's straight garbage? And he pushed Petrino to the brink of death, bro. He gave Petrino his toughest fight of his fucking career. Outside of his weird loss to Anthony Smith and his knockout loss to Jacoby. But you know what I'm saying? He pushed him, bro. He pushed him in a big way. Tested him. Tested him in a big way. Yeah, Spivac did look good against Waldo, bro. You like Spivac KO? Respect. I'm going Spivac money line. I just tell y'all, like, that's my bet. I'm going to go Spivac down the center. And I think we're due for it. Hey, WPDX Hoya. See you for the live stream, bro. Hey, you know what's going to be sick? Tomorrow, I'm doing the MMA live chat in the afternoon. I'm doing the weigh-in recap show in the evening. And then Saturday, I'm live for the entire UFC card. And I'm also going to be giving you guys PFL coverage. So my plan is the dual stream. Of course, UFC the priority. Clock will be fixated on UFC. But throughout the night, I'll also be reacting to PFL. I'll have the PFL graphic. I'll have updates for PFL. So just something to know if you're a fan of both. You're getting coverage from both from me. And then next week, not only am I doing Contender Series, Jay, I'm doing Road to UFC, Jay. I'm going to give you guys my Road to UFC picks, and I'll go live for the card at 5 a.m., I think. Hopefully the weigh-ins are on a little before that so I can comfortably do the weigh-in show. And then I'll go live for the Road to UFC card, and then I will sleep for an extended period of time before then going live in the early hours Saturday morning for the what's it called? UFC China card. You're locking Umar Nurmagomedov for the China card? It makes sense. Yeah, Road to UFC replaced the PFL break. PFL also just announced they got a card October 16th. my mom's birthday. I'll be PFLJ on the live stream that day. That'll be cool. All right. One more fight left, and then I'm getting out of here, and I'm getting to PFL business. Our main event coming up next. All right, all right. All right, all right. Let's jump it up. Jump it up. Let me just get the timestamp real quick. So, some research on Dorsainvil. B-Rex, thank you for the 5. So, some research on Dorsainvil. What is it? I know he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I know he's kind of fast. I know he's kind of lanky. I watched him fight, but I couldn't pick him. Not against Gage Young. 10/16 is your mom's birthday too, Jor? Hey, W on that. All right, chat. Let's make it happen. Let's jump on up to the main event of the evening. If you guys have been enjoying this week's PropAholics show, be sure to leave me a like and be sure, if you're new, to subscribe to the channel. Every Thursday, PropAholics Thunder. Hernandez, Rodrigues, we got Fluffy versus RoboCop. These two are essentially opposites when it comes down to body types. You have the menacing behemoth in Gregory Rodrigues. And then you have, the average build Anthony Hernandez. It's like bodybuilder versus landscaper. I am going with the working man, Anthony Hernandez, to pull off a later stage finish of a fatigued RoboCop, because I do anticipate this fight being live to go longer. Hernandez's chin, pretty good. The knock on Hernandez, though, he does have the glass body, and RoboCop can rip the body pretty hard. So there is a bit of nerves for sure picking Hernandez, where if RoboCop closes that gap and rips some fucking body shots, Hernandez might be done. But with that being said, Hernandez could touch that RoboCop chin too. Though Hernandez maybe isn't known for the hardest one-shot kill power, he still has knockouts on his record. He still can throw hands. His wrestling is not going to be highly effective when they're both at full strength. Let's just call a spade a spade. RoboCop is built like a freak. Trust me, he's strong as fuck early. But I do think if Hernandez is able to get into the second round here with RoboCop starts slowing down, starts making mistakes, start overcommitting to shots, Anthony Hernandez could end up surprising him with a takedown. And when they hit the mat, there's a difference in the jiu-jitsu. Anthony Hernandez is a lot faster to transition and submission, though RoboCop is strong and kind of reminds me more of like an older Brazilian gi grappler, like legitimately good on the ground. Hernandez is tricky and lightning speed on the mat. And I think Hernandez is live to submit a very tired RoboCop. RoboCop, regardless of his improvement in patience from what we've seen, still is incredibly muscle bound. Okay. He's jacked as fuck. He should be fighting at light heavyweight. It looks like, my God, dude is built like a freaking freak of freaks, man. He looks like Mr. Olympia type build. The eye test is going to have you calling RoboCop to chin Hernandez. But not long ago, Hernandez was considered the boogeyman of this division. And I'm not ready to say it's over with yet because of a tough loss to Sean Strickland. Yes, RoboCop's power is immense. And I think there are ways to bet this fight on either side. If you are repping the side of RoboCop to win, I think the underdog on the money line at plus 150 is beautiful. RoboCop money line at plus 150. You don't need to chase a prop. You have plus money. For Hernandez, if he's to win, it's not going to be in round 1. I'll be shocked if it's round 1. It's going to be over a round and a half. It might be round 3. It might be over 2.5. Hernandez to win over a round and a half does bring you to the plus money territory at plus 100. But you don't want just plus money, you know? You want more than that. You want a D-gen play. Hernandez by sub over a round and a half. Plus 5. Rodrigues, KO under 2.5, because that's the most likely outcome for him. Under 2.5 rounds, Gregory Rodrigues to go out and win by a knockout. Plus 450. There's two ways to play it. You can bet Rodrigues, KO under 2.5. Hernandez to win by sub over 1.5 if you want to double degen it. That's how you can run both sides. I don't feel confident in RoboCop's cardio, but yeah, I'm terrified of Hernandez getting hit with a hard shot to the body. For sure. How could I not be? RoboCop is one of the hardest punchers we've ever seen at middleweight. But thankfully, he's human. He does have the off button, too. I mean, could Hernandez end up wobbling RoboCop on the feet? It's not the craziest take ever. Hernandez by knockout would be something spectacular, not out of the realm of possibility. The sub tends to make sense for Hernandez because he's submission-minded. And a tired RoboCop could give him that neck. Like, let me just look at round props specifically. RoboCop wins round 1 or 2 plus 375. Hernandez 3-4 is plus 400. And then Hernandez to win round 5 is plus 12. So you could do Hernandez wins 3-4 at 4-1 and bet round 5 at plus 12 if you want to run something like that. Because I think Hernandez is most likely rounds for him to win this fight would be, late second, but probably 3, 4, and 5. And RoboCop's best chance is within the first 10 minutes, potentially the first 15. I think RoboCop is going to look to rip the body. And we'll see if that Hernandez glass body still exists, man. Hernandez, let's see how he looks on the scale, bro. Has he been doing a shitload of abs? Fun fact, RoboCop's birth certificate was printed on parchment paper. Thank you for the 10, Sherm from Jackson. I'm hearing that RoboCop's birth certificate doesn't even exist, bro. They don't know how old he is. RoboCop might be 60. It doesn't matter. He's fucking RoboCop. RoboCop never being subbed is a bit scary. True. Now, remember, though, some years ago, Hernandez submitted jiu-jitsu ace Adolfo Vieira. So just because RoboCop hasn't been submitted, a tired RoboCop is still live to be submitted by a guy that's a pretty submission wizard type in Hernandez with 9 sub wins. 4 knockout losses there for RoboCop. There's 3 knockout wins for Hernandez, but the name of his game is not the knockout. He's got ground and pound finishes, but if you really look at Hernandez, his one true knockout win at a high level was the Jordan Wright fight that got overturned to a no contest. He won by 1-shot KO. And then they, overturned it to a no contest because we were living in an era where him smoking weed gets a fight fucking, no contest. Doesn't make any sense. Crazy. Crazy. But I think the, side of Rodrigues KO makes sense. I get why people would go for that. Like, I understand. Yeah, this fight is high risk. This is a dangerous one. It's a battle of the death touch striker versus the fucking drowner. Muscle bound guy that gasses versus somebody that has a questionable durability of body. I like what Range G said. He says Fluffy win streak, 8 fights. Then Strickland broke him, so he goes and trains with him. I think it's a green flag. I like that a lot, man. Fluffy decision, absolutely live, not out of the realm of possibility. That's why I like Fluffy to win over 1.5. I think if Fluffy wins, it goes long. If Hernandez pulls it off, it goes long. If RoboCop pulls it off, I think he needs a finish. I don't see RoboCop beating Hernandez in a dog fight for 5 rounds. I could see a 2-round dog fight where he puts him away. Pretty sick fight. I actually love this main event. I think this week's main event is beyond fire. I think this week's card is lit, bro. I love me a good fight night card, and this is no exception to it. Hell of a UFC fight night card. Hell of a fight night card. AJ Hoffman's RoboCop throw to the body. He rips the body a bit in range. He'll do it towards the cage as he corrals people there. I could see him trying to do it to Hernandez. Thing is, though, you run the risk of getting clobbered hard as you rip to that body, especially of a shorter man. Fluffy could crack him with a right hand as he's coming in. RoboCop's power at this point, though, scary shit. Like, Ngannou's scary at this weight class, you know? The chat has decided that the winning prop is none other than, drum roll please, Hernandez to win over 1.5 rounds. In second place, though, is the DGen play of Rodrigues to win by KO under 2.5. You could essentially hedge bet it. You could go Hernandez wins over 1.5 at plus 100 and put something on RoboCop to win KO under 2.5. You could play both sides of it and balance it out where you can see if you could turn up upside on both ends. So something worth mentioning is double ending it and playing both swords. Not a horrible idea. That right there is the full card PropAholics deep dive. But before I head out, I want to give you guys the recap of everything that we talked about. So starting the night off, it was a matchup between the ladies, Shanelle Dyer and Elise Reed. The chat decided the best prop there is Dyer by KO, plus 130, 67% of the votes. I agree. OB Corbian, thank you for the 5. PFL card looks tough. AJ, you up for it? You got it, bro. We making bags this week. Let's go, OB Corbian. Yes, I'm up for it. I'm doing it after this video. Or rather, after this stream, I'm doing the video. You know what I mean. Next fight up the card. Party Time Schultz by sub is the chat's pick. 49% on the plus 300 line. Fight after that, Gage Young, just money line it between him and Dorsainvil at 56% of the chat. Obviously, Barbosa to win KO under 1.5 won with 51% of the chat's vote. Above that, Taco Padilla fight just to money line it with Nasrat Haqparast and not stress yourself out. Nzechukwu to win by KO wins in this prelim heavyweight banger. Douglas by knockout wins here and makes a lot of sense. 50% of the chat's vote. And Wint KO round 1 wins with 42% of the chat vote. Judice to win over a round and a half got 44%. Above that, Mason Jones to win by decision got 65%. The Ritter to win by sub got 54%. The Spivac underdog money line, which I'm locking this week, got 66%. And in the main event, Hernandez to win over 1.5 got 38%. So that right there is a quick rundown of what went down for my members. You guys know the drill. I will have all of these in the Discord, and you know, we're going to have it for the masses straight up. You know what I'm saying? The Discord's good. If you're in it, you get easy access. You get all the fucking results for the poll. I feel like it's a nice feature. You know, you essentially get the premium PropAholics show. So, you know, if you don't watch, you get the recap. If you do watch, you want to write some things down and see what's what, you get all the notes. Sherm from Jackson, thank you for the 10, my boy. Jay, if you had $50 left and a very stressed baby mama saying you ain't shit every day and needed to make the PPP loan worth the money Saturday, what would you suggest? Hypothetical, of course. I guess you got to go ballsy. Spivac to win as an underdog, right? You're going fucking DeRitter by sub, Jones by decision. You're going Douglas KO. You're putting that on it. You're going Barbosa KO under a round and a half. And then in the main event, you're going to have to decide if you're going to Rodrigues KO under 2.5 or you're going Hernandez over 1.5. One of the two. Where's the Discord? All right, I'm going to post an updated link right now in the members tab. So what you're going to do, you're on YouTube and you're on my channel, right? So you'll be on my channel. You look and you're like, yeah, bro, I'm on your channel. I don't see it. Where is the Big J's page? All right. You'll click post or memberships. Either of those tabs will suffice. And you will see a new Discord link that I am literally going to drop right now. Right now for the masses. Boom. All channel members, and it's up. New Discord link available. I update it weekly. Thank you for the dono, Sherm from Jackson. Listen, guys, I would love to hang around and bullshit for the next hour, but I got work to do. I got things to accomplish. And I am going to do my full deep dive of PFL right after this. So stay tuned for the release of that show in the next hour and a half. I love you guys. Smash the like, hit subscribe, Keep it locked in every day. And I'll be live tomorrow if you guys want to chat it up during the MMA live chat, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys there. Good night, everyone.